Hi, this is Thesia of Ellis Family Farms, and it just keeps raining and raining. It hasn't been like torrential rains. We did have a pretty good shower come through, but it's enough rain that it's hard to get anything done outside. It's a good thing that Kenzie and I got some mowing done today, and Tom did some mowing too, but we're still way behind. But we're going to check it out. It's going to be raining right here. I'm going to do some changes to the way I feed, especially the meat birds, because I'm going out there like 3 times a day and changing out feed and water and stuff. So we're going to try to do a bucket system with it, and we'll show you how to do that here in a few minutes. But first, let's go look at the gardens and see what it looks like, because I haven't shown you that in a while. Look at all this grass that's already growing where we just moved out the birds just the other day, and that's a muddy mess on the other side there. But we're going to try to get some tarps laid out here today, see if we can curtail some of this growth, because we really can't do much gardening until we get some of this rain gets past us. Yeah, we got weeds. So those are my onions, and the cabbage are looking pretty good. And look at the cauliflower. I don't know if there you go. There's one. See, I cut a couple of them because they were already trying to sprout, but they were so little. I mean, they look okay. They're little. So yeah, I killed 2 plants, and probably got to get them pulled up. And there's some radishes amongst those weeds, and I can't tell. I don't see any carrots coming up yet. There's a couple of little things coming here that I really need to look and see what they are. The tomatoes overall look pretty good. Well, the new growth on them is looking good. Look at that one. I'll see if you can see that a little bit better. It's got some good green on it. When we first put them out, well, when Tom put them out, you can still see quite a bit of purple on them, and I guess that means that they're low on phosphorus or something, but maybe they were low on phosphorus while they were still in the thing, because all the new growth is looking pretty good. So maybe they'll be all right here. We'll have to find out. But yeah, every one of those that they planted and some that we haven't transplanted yet got a pretty serious purplish hue on them. But these are looking actually better. So maybe we'll be okay. These are my blackberries, and they're looking pretty good. And if you look closely, let me see. Yeah, here's one right here. Where are they? Right there. You can see the blackberries starting to come on. So we're getting a little bit of that in here. Yes, I weeded this. You just can't tell. The weeds are crazy here. Here's one apple here, and they're growing pretty good. I can imagine everything's growing real good. But here's a whole cluster of apples up here. I don't know why they're coming in red. I mean, they got some green on them and stuff. I have no idea what variety this is, because I had a mixture of them whenever we just ate apples. I saved the seeds. So this one's going to have a pretty good harvest of apples on it, hopefully. Well, right now it's looking good anyway. And this poor little leaning tree, I've tied it up and tried everything. It doesn't want to go straight up, but there's a little apple on it too. I got some garlic scapes. I think you're supposed to be able to saute them. I wonder how many if I got. I'm only seeing 2. Well, there's another one there. You know what? I might try to get some of these and saute them up to go with dinner tonight. That might be kind of fun. I'll check into it, and maybe I'll come back out and harvest some more of these. But yep, the garlic's looking pretty good amongst the weeds. This is a relatively new bed. I think I planted it last year, so we've got some spindly ones coming up that we're just going to let them go for the year. And this one, every once in a while, there's a couple more spindly ones. I really regret that I did not get more planted or get another bed done this year, but that's the way it goes, I guess. Then I have to get over here, and I really have to start looking hard, because we might find some asparagus in this mess. So here's my clusters of grapes, which is kind of interesting because I don't really even see anything on. When they first come up, they're little bitty balls of grapes, and I think I've shown those to you before, but then they spread out. We'll have to see how these go, because kind of what happens in this area is you get all these beautiful clusters of grapes all over all of them, and when it gets wet like this, it stays wet, and then all of a sudden it gets hot and dry, and all these poor clusters of grapes just dry up on the vine. So, but maybe we'll have a harvest this year. We'll just have to see. This tree, we were looking at it from outside of the vineyard, and of course we're on the inside of the vineyard now, and you can see this is a different tree. And look how there's a whole different apple in here. Like I said, I don't know what they are. Oh, there's some more apples up in there. And these are coming in more green. And I know they're not red from the sun. We just have not had enough sun for that to be, well, it can't be sunburned. It's just whatever this variety is. That's cool. And I planted way too heavy, and that's okay. But like this tree here is just a junk tree that I left in. And it looks like pretty soon we're going to have to cut it down, but that's okay too. I can cut it, I can have what I can use, you know, chip it or whatever. That can make some smoking wood for Tom if he wants it. And even if like this apple tree over here, if it's, so far we have not seen it produce anything. And it is close to this one that is producing. So maybe we'll cut this down and Tom can have some apple wood for smoking and stuff too. So I was not worried about overplanting these trees because I knew we could cut down what we didn't want and use it for something else. And I'm going to be planting more on down that way too. And these are actually looking pretty good, which is great because I have not had much luck with them in this place. But look, the ones that are new, and yeah, there's more weeds. But look, I'm getting some blossoms on some of them. So maybe we can start having a few strawberries. That would be cool. This poor thing needs to be pruned really bad, but aren't those beautiful? This is called a chocolate rose. This is something that one of Tom's cousins gave me a few years ago. Now they just make beautiful roses. I really need to get it pruned up so that you can actually see how beautiful they are. But when it seems to like this, it's been moved 2 or 3 different times in a barrel, and I finally took it out and put it here. And it seems to like this location pretty good because the last location I leaned real hard trying to get to sun. So, yep, if I can just get down here and get that taken care of too, I'd have a beautiful rose bush on my hand. I'm hoping I got enough light to show you. We bought some, I had bought some smaller ones, but they're not quite big enough. And but here's some bigger totes or tubs for feed, and I bought some buckets. And so that's what we're going to get started on now. We're going to drill, I need 2 for feed and I need 1 for water. And I'm hoping we can, I think it'll work out good. I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. Well, apparently I've already made one mistake. Oh, let me get someplace for that. I've already made one mistake. I did not get food grade buckets, which I didn't think was important, but apparently I didn't get anything with seals in them either. And for the feed, that's not going to be important, but for the water, it might be. Well, we've got it right side up right now. Even without the seal, there was a little leakage, but it wasn't too bad. But we're going to try experiment and put some holes. We're going to put it on the bottom end of it and see how it works with the lid on it. And if it doesn't work, we'll just make the holes bigger for the feed. So we're just experimenting down, see if we can get this to work without a bucket that actually seals, with a seal in the rim, the lid. Yeah, those are pretty good size holes, huh? All right, well, just see. You can see where it's coming out. I hope you can. The light is really bad. We'll just see if it we'll see if it balances out after it gets above the holes. It slowed down after it got above the holes, but I'm thinking we still got some water coming out. I don't know. I may have. Well, Tom's going to put some more water in it and see what happens. But I get the feeling I messed up by not getting the lid with the seal on it. So I learned something from that. We'll check it out. We're going to put some more water in it and see how it does. Alright, I did mess up. Because the reason it stopped before is we had gotten low enough on water that it just filled it to that point. But you can tell after we add more water to it, it's just going to start overflowing here a little bit. So that is more water than what it had, but that's not what I wanted to have happen. Yep, there it goes, right over the edge, right there. Bummer. That's what I get for not knowing what I'm doing. And the good news is we're going to we'll get that dried out, and we'll just make the holes bigger and make it ready for the feed, because it will work for feed. It's just not what I wanted for water. So it wasn't a complete waste. All right, Tom found a bucket with a lid. Found a lid with a seal on it, but it is kind of an older seal and an older bucket. And it slowed it way down, but it's still creeping up. Almost enough where we thought, well, maybe it'll work, but if we walk away from it, it might just continue to run out. It might take an hour or so, but I need it to last. So, well, now what we're going to try to do, we're going to get a different bucket and maybe just put one hole in it and see if that makes a difference. We don't know. Because like I said, if these don't work, we can put bigger holes in them. We're going to use, I got 2 of them I want for feed anyway, so we're not going to be running anything. So, yeah, that's just barely creeping up, so that's not good enough. We're going to try something different. So it doesn't look like this one's going to work out either, and most likely it's because the lid is not sealing properly. So we'll see if we can find a lid that does seal and check it out. So, but this one has 3 holes in it, and this one has just 1. But the one that has 3 holes in it, I wanted 3 holes in it anyway, and he's got his hole saw. And we're going to put holes here and all around it and make this into a feed bucket now.
Is that where you want it?
Yeah, I think so. All right, before I show this to you, I want you to know it's raining. It's been raining for a week. We got another week of rain too. And I've already we move these birds twice a day generally. And this is the noon feeding for them. And this is the reason I want to check it out, because I'm hoping to bypass that. And I just moved them again. I'm going to have to do 3 times a day until this rain lets up. But I wanted to show you how this feeder is working out for us. It's not attached like the other one was, and we're moving with it, but I think that's going to work out pretty good. I put a couple buckets in it, and it's coming out the holes real good. And yeah, these guys are miserable. They're so wet. But I think this feeder's going to work out pretty good. Then all we have to do is, well, after we move the thing, we can fill it up with feed, and God bless you. So maybe this will work. I'm hoping that's not a bad sign, because they're covered. But it's just wet. It's miserable out here. And like literally, I just moved this thing about 5 minutes ago. But hopefully it's a workout. Maybe this will get it where I can keep it filled up for them and not have to come out here all the time and have to come out here fewer times anyway. And we'll work on the water, because this is what I've got for water, and it's definitely having to be done 3 times a day. We'll get there. At least there's a little bit of progress, but my poor birds, everybody's such a muddy mess, so even myself. Well, it's a little bit of progress anyway. At least we got a feeder for the birds for right now. It's been mucky, rainy for a long time. Yeah, I know I said that already, but that's kind of the way it's been going around here. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get you a good sunset tonight or not, but we'll see what we can do. If you don't get a sunset, it's either because I forgot or it just wasn't worth filming and stuff. So at least you know a cheap way to make a feeder, and that keeps it covered, because I put a lid on it. Well, you saw where I put the lid on it, so keep the birds out of it. And I think it's going to work. They seem to like it pretty good, and we'll just have to see how it goes for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and go ahead and share it with other people, because you just never know what I'm going to be getting into. And you know, like I always say, get off the couch, turn off the television, find something to do, and live until you die. God bless, guys. See you next time. Okay, one thing I want to say too is that my grandson Joseph, Kenzie's older brother, who's being raised by somebody else, but he graduated high school last night, and we're all so very, very proud of him. And so I just want to say, Joseph, we love you, we're proud of you, and we're glad that you're out of high school. Well, let's see what the world we'll see what the world presents for you in the future.